Sorry guys if you see I've had a moment just a minute ago. I'm just gonna be real about it. But it's sad tears but happy tears because I keep my dad's memory alive. And everybody knows, or a lot of people don't know, they say that they called me the ice queen in high school because I said I didn't show much emotion. But, I've always been the kind of person, what you see is what you get. You either love me or hate me. There's no in between with me. But my closest friends and my husband, my mom, my dad, and my son, they've seen the real Tatum. The one who does have feelings and shows them, because I don't trust a lot of people. I've been hurt before. You won't never see it, but I have. A lot of people don't know this, and my dad was also a horse farrier. People would come from other states. He's probably, that's where they shoe the horse's feet, put on shoes, everything. My dad was one of the best. And my husband had shared a video today, or he sent it to me, that he took when he was 73. I know he died right after he turned 79. And he was shoeing a horse's feet then. And he was like, "Pa still got it. He's the best." Oh. Okay. But anyway, my dad used to make this joke when people would say, "What is it you do? You're a horse farrier." He'd say, "I'm a horse podiatrist." And people would be like, "What?" Because, a podiatrist, doctor, they work on your feet. So he would say, "I'm a horse podiatrist." He was just funny like that. He had a sense of humor. That's where I get that from. Sorry. Oh, but a lot of y'all don't know, this was one of the toughest things I ever went through. Because I'm a daddy's girl. I always have been, always will be. I am a mama's girl too, but there's just a thing with girls with their dads, So a lot of people have actually seen my emotions because it's hard when I talk about him, because he was my hero, everything to me. But anyway, I was watching this video, and he was 73, and he's so funny because my dad really, he'd say shit or damn or ass sometimes, but he just wasn't a big cusser, He's a real big Christian man. And you hear him on there say, "Damn, I'm out of shape." And I got tickled. I think because you hardly ever heard Daddy say a cuss word. But I was watching him at 73, trim his horse's feet, and it was actually our next door neighbors, Bobby and Janet Joiners. His name is Gus. And Bobby was like kind of a son to him in certain ways. He always, bragged on Bobby Joyner. If I ever had a son, he said I'd want him to be like Bobby. He's a good young'un, So we kept Gus for a long time, and Daddy was shoeing his feet. He was talking about his bloodlines and everything. But if you watch this video, I'm going to share it. The one thing about my dad that everybody loved is he was such an educated man. Like, everybody wondered why I made Ace in history and didn't have to study, because that man was like a walking encyclopedia. When you listen to him, it wasn't BS. Like, when you listen to him, you knew that he had something to offer you. He had something to tell you, because that's just who he was. But, I was sitting here watching it, and I was remembering, ever since I was a little kid, what a life I had. He was the dad that people would dream about having. I mean, my daddy was 37 years old when I was born. And I think that's why, him and my mom have been married 11 years. And they kind of give up on having a kid. And bam, here I come, And I used to say, "Daddy, I know you really wanted a boy." He said, "Honey," he said, "I thought I did." He said, "But if I'd had a boy," he said, "he'd have probably been real prissy. He wouldn't have wanted to do nothing. He wouldn't have wanted to ride horses. He said, that would have been my luck." He said, "Wanted to go hunting with me, I said, "Well, you don't know that." He said, "But I'd have loved him no matter what." He said, "But I had a princess and a tomboy." Because everybody knows I was in beauty pageants since I was 6. I was in baton dance and acrobatics since I was 4. I started singing at 7, started acting at 9. But every Sunday, me and Dad, we have land on Big Swamp Hunting Club. So we would load up our horses and we would go riding. And he was so funny because he'd say, "You tell people we go riding on Saturdays." I said, "Daddy, but we go after church." He's like, "Yeah, but I don't want people to look at me funny. You wouldn't have mowed grass on Sunday." He said that was God's day. So we go ride horse. I said, "Daddy, but we worship God this morning. He don't care." But Daddy was just always worried that people would think something about that, But we would ride horses every weekend. You know, I would go hunting with him. He loved coon hunting. That was his favorite thing. One thing about my dad, he wasn't a big deer hunter because he always thought they were too pretty. Not that he wouldn't shoot one. Like, if you said something about people shooting them, he's like, honey, they ain't going extinct. There's enough of them. But I'd say, but Daddy, why don't you deer hunt? Well, they're too pretty. But, you know, that's just Daddy. But he didn't like the dogs being run with deer. But he loved them with coon hunting. Now, that was the thing. He liked blue ticks. I mean, he's had every kind of dog you can name of. Red bones, you know, red tick. But he loved a blue tick. That was just my dad. But the thing about him was, the thing that we had in common the most was, when I looked at him, he was my hero. You know, and I'll never forget, a lot of y'all probably don't know this. When I went to adopt Joseph, I was told I'd never have kids. So it didn't bother me because of my career and stuff and what I did, I didn't really want them. I just accepted the fact at 17, you know, that, and I would travel the world. But when I went to adopt him, I sat down with my mom and dad, and I'll never forget my dad saying this. I said, Dad, if I do this, I don't know what I'm doing. And he said, me and Mom will help you raise him. He said, God's told me, I prayed about it, he belongs here. And they did. They helped me raise him. And I tell anybody that. I wasn't a single mom. I had my mom and dad until Michael come along. And I'll always be thankful for that. You know, they help give me him the best life. My nose is itching. I'm sorry, y'all, from crying. But it ain't all sad tears. It's happy because I remember my dad and I keep him alive, and that's the way it's always going to be. But I know people think, well, we had a special dad. I'm not saying that nobody else has a special dad, by no means. But when I tell you, if you mention the name Luther Thrift, and you'll never hear nobody say a bad word about this man, because he prayed for people. Now, one thing he didn't tolerate, if there was somebody on TV that was a murderer or, you know, somebody like that, he'd say, honey, they the devil. They the devil. They're not human. They couldn't do this. But the one thing that I do have regrets of is the Joseph situation. It's because before he died, he wanted to see justice. And he was sick. He was sick about it. Because he was like, I don't understand the GBI. You know, if it would have been county or something like that, he knows everybody. My papa and grandma were judges. So he believed in the law. And that's why he taught me to believe in the law and love the law. And that's why I tell people, it's not the county. It's not the city. It's not the judges. It is the district attorney's office. And it's the solicitor's office. And, you know, it's the GBI. But I promised him when he died that I'd never stop fighting, and I won't. Because he made a promise, and he felt like he didn't keep it because he passed away. He told them that day we found him, he said, y'all a bunch of dogs. He said, and as long as I can draw breath, there will be justice. Because he knew he didn't fall from the barn, you know. But I'm going to get off that right now. What I want to say is, I want y'all to watch this video. If it won't all go on here, you can go on my Facebook, Tatum Thrift Walker, on my page, and watch it, and watch what this man could do at 73 years old. Next month, it'll be his birthday. It would be his 80th birthday if he was here, but March will be a year he passed away. And I am planning on something. I'm going to do something, either Obadiah's or Open Neck Swamp Park. I will let everybody know. But I'm going to honor him, and I want to do something. You know, they honor him at each place, especially Obadiah's. They all have a plaque up about him, you know, and his genealogy and what he did. But I want his legacy to move on. And everybody said it ends with me. I've got to do something. And I try to know what he did. But I will never be Luther Thrift. I want everybody to know that. I will help you the best way I can. I have a lot of knowledge. But I'm his child. I'm his daughter. And his blood runs through my veins. He used to get on my mom all the time. Tatum's A negative, just like me. She used to get so mad about that. But just watching this today made me proud. I am proud to be his daughter. And me being his daughter, number one, I will get justice for my son. Number two, all them that had something to do with this, they will pay in the legal system. And number three, all these that don't want to do nothing, I hope I see them without a job. Because that's one thing. He loved my son. And he never understood why. And so with this video, this is just a taste of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get somebody that I know really good. I want to see if they'll help me with it. I want videos of my dad from when he was a young man. I want y'all to see how this man could ride a horse. There was nobody that I knew that had more knowledge about horses, especially Tennessee walking horses, than this man did. No more. He was a walking encyclopedia, and anybody that knew him knew. So I just want to say that I'm proud to be his daughter, and it just melts my heart. But I guess y'all see a little vulnerable side of me, because when it comes to my dad, he loved me first, and that's why I love Michael so much, because they say you need to marry a man like your daddy, and I come very close. So, but I love you guys. Sorry I got a little sentimental, but you know, but I want y'all to see this video. So I love you guys.
All right, dude, read your text, will you? It's not easy being your phone's message notification system.
You see, I don't ever cut any of the sole out. Clean it out. Right, hold my nipple. See, these things should be way down. But what it's doing is just breaking the devil out of it. It's got a good wall. I'm gonna have to let him walk on his nose. Now, let me get my stand. Where's my stand? Now my mouth shaking. Stop this flare here. We can stop it maybe from splitting right on. Well, I used to love to do this. That was good when I got through. Wait, what? Oh, now. What happened? I'm just tired of standing on that. Yeah. Let's try it again, bud. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Damn shame. Now, that might help stop split red further. Yeah. Take much of that off. That's a lot better. Good boy. Yeah. That's all we got to do is feed him. Good boy. That's a good boy. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. You know, this horse, at one time he could have got $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 for this horse. It's a valuable horse. Yeah. He's got a bloodline on him. And he don't just trot. He was trained to go right into a counter. A little short loop, they call it. Almost like a single foot, look at Bud.